Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. We are discussing about the use of various research methods for conducting educational research. Especially now we are focusing on the use of descriptive research. In our last program we have discussed about the longitudinal method, and in this program we will discuss about the cross-sectional survey method. What is the concept of cross-sectional survey method, and how to conduct the cross-sectional survey method. Friends, you see, cross-sectional is a kind of sample survey where standardized information is gathered from a sample drawn from a cross section of a predetermined population at one point of time. So you try to understand here. I am focusing on cross sectional. Cross sectional means here the population will be different, group will be different. I am not talking about a single group. Okay, so you have to collect data from different section of the population. Okay, and what will be the time? So you have to collect data at one point of time, at the single point of time. So here you are not going to give any gap of time. So just like as earlier we have discussed about the longitudinal study. In longitudinal study, what you are doing, you are giving a gap of time. So continuously you are observing and continuously you are studying the development of a particular problem, development of a particular variable, you can say, or on a particular aspect in a particular context and perspective. You are studying a problem for long period of time, maybe for 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. But what you will do here, there is no need of studying the same problem, same variable for quite a long period of time. So here, taking a very small time, you can conduct your study. But the difference is, in earlier cases, you are engaging only in a longitudinal study, you are engaging only one group of population or one group of sample. Okay, to a particular community, to a particular section of the society, to a particular tribe, okay, or a particular group of population. But here what you are doing, here the population will be different, population will be vary, means you can take more than one group of population. Okay, and you have to cross verify, the status or the situation of a particular variable that happens with a particular group of population and other group of population. You can better compare it. So that's why this is called as a cross sectional study. Means this is not a single sectional study or single population study, rather you have to take more than one population group. So friends, let us try to understand the concept better. The sample respondents must represent different distinct segment of population, like elementary, secondary, senior secondary stages of school education. You see, you want to study a single problem in a different segment of the population. Okay, you are taking elementary education as the subject. You can take the students, you can take the teachers, you can take the parents. Let secondary education is one of the segment of the population, then senior secondary is one of the segment of the population. So here variable will be one, problem will be one, and the same problem will be studied across the population, across the, you can say, segments of the population, at the elementary stage, at the secondary stage, or at the senior secondary stage. And here the importance is when you will collect this, as you have to take more than one population, more than one group, then accordingly you have to select the sample also. For selecting sample, especially in the cross sectional survey, you have to use certain sampling technique. Okay, so that sampling technique may be a random sampling technique, may be a stratified random sampling technique, and may be a cluster random sampling technique. Okay, so randomly you can select certain elementary student, certain secondary student, and certain senior secondary student. And you want to conduct a study by using the stratified random sampling method. As example, you are taking the college student. So here what you will get in college student, when you are talking about the graduation level, okay, the graduation courses. So here you will find the students of arts, science, and commerce background, commerce streams. So here you will find three groups of population. One is the arts, one is the science, and other is the your commerce. So here you can use a stratified random sampling because your population is distributed here in three segments or three stratas. From three strata, equal number of sample you can draw by using this stratified random sampling, and you can also use a cluster sampling. So you can make different cluster of your population, and all clusters should have the equal characteristics. So what you can do, you can take few cluster, 2 or 3 clusters, and you can conduct your study. So friends, what I mean to say, in the longitudinal study, you see you are conducting your study focusing upon a single population or single sample, but here what you are doing, you are taking more than one sample. Okay, so here the populations are the group of population are many, then accordingly you select the sample and you conduct the study. Let us try to discuss, understand better by you discussing certain more concept. The basic feature of cross-sectional survey is associated with varieties of respondents covering different stages or status in the study. As I have already told you that you can take sample from elementary stage, from secondary stage, or from the senior secondary stage. Another main feature of cross-sectional study is that the information is collected at one point of time. Okay, so here you are not conducting a type of longitudinal study. So the information that you will collect, that will be collected at one point of time. Okay, so let you are taking 1 month, only 1 month for collecting your data. So you have to complete your entire collection of data taking only 1 month or 2 months. Okay, so but in longitudinal study you are waiting it for, you are observing, you are interviewing, and minutely you are observing the development of the variable, the development of the problem for quite a long time, for 10 years or more than that also. So this is the difference. Then one point of time refers to single slot of data collection over a few days or months. I have already told you that you can engage yourself for collecting data in a single go. Maybe you may take for 1 month or you may take for 2 months. So friends, now let us try to discuss, after discussing the concept, that what are the types of cross-sectional studies that you can conduct in the discipline of education. We can conduct two types of cross-sectional surveys. One is the description of status of single variable. Taking a single variable you can conduct a study. So here groups will be many but variable will be one. But you can also conduct a study, that is, you can say, exploring relationships between two or more variables. So here also groups will be many, more than one groups. Okay, but variables you can also take more than one variables. Okay, taking two variables to know the relationship between two variables, taking different groups, you can also conduct a study. So friends, now let us try to understand how we can use a single variable study and how we can use a multiple or more than one variable study. In single variable study, as I have already told you, the variable will be one. Let us try to understand by taking one example. Let take the example, you want to know the attitude of the students or attitude of the teachers towards online learning through MOOCs, through massive open online courses. Okay, so that which is now popular nowadays, and the teachers and students, they are using these MOOCs. So this is the variable to know the attitude of these teachers or students that is on online learning through MOOCs. So what you will do? So here you have to select the stages. Okay, stages that you have to conduct the study in which stages of population. Let you are taking the secondary students and the senior secondary students. You have to conduct your study. Your population will be the secondary students as well as the senior secondary students. So here what will be the cross section population? The cross section populations will be, you can take the students at the secondary stage, teachers at the secondary stage, and if you want you can take a few group of population in the secondary stage. Okay, so here you see, when I am talking about the population is not confined only a single group of population. Okay, so from this stage, from the secondary stage, you can take more than one stakeholders also. Okay, Let your student is one stakeholder, teacher is also another stakeholder, and you can also take the parents also. Accordingly, from the senior secondary stage, you can take students, teachers, as well as the parents. So those are involved in the process of online learning or in the process of implementing the MOOCs. Okay. So parents, though they are directly not involved, still then when their children are studying in the school, so definitely they are also a part of the study. They are also a type of stakeholder of the study. They can also give their opinions. So next, what you will do, the time or the situation, here there is this is not a type of longitudinal study. You are doing a cross-sectional study, studying the variable, observing the variable in a single time, at the same time, without taking any gap, but in different stages, in different sections of the population. Okay, so different section of the population, here is the secondary and the senior secondary stage, and variable will be one to know the attitude of the students or teachers in the context of online learning through MOOCs. Okay, so this study will be conducted at the same time. Tools, you have to prepare the tools. Then you can use a type of questionnaire here. You can type a tool like the attitude scale to know the attitude of the students or teachers towards the online education, and you can also use a type of interview schedule also. Okay, so by using these tools, you can collect data at the same time from the secondary population as well as from the senior secondary school population. So now you have two sets of data now. The data that you have collected from secondary students and data that you have collected from the senior secondary students. So what you can do, you can compare these two sets of scores, two sets of data, and you can reach at the result, reach at the findings that what type of relationship what type of practices, what type of opinion, what type of attitudes you are observing from the senior from the secondary students and from the senior secondary students. So you can also conduct a type of cross sectional study, taking the single variable study. Then you can also conduct this study by taking the many variables. Okay, so more than one variables. Let us try to example, and this is a type of, you can say, correlation types of study. Let me to give one example. Let you have taken two variables. One will be the achievement, then other will be the learning habits or the study habits. So you want to know whether there are any relationship between these two variables in a particular time period. Okay, in a particular context of time, a relationship between achievement and study habits. So what you will do, as like the earlier cases, here also you have to select two stages. First will be the secondary stage of school education, and second will be the senior secondary stage of school education. Then the cross section population means here secondary and senior secondary are the cross section population. You have to collect data, you have to administer the achievement test as well as the study habit scale or any type of tool to know the study habits. You will get two sets of scores from the secondary students and from the senior secondary students. Then you have to correlate it. Okay, you can use a test or a scale. You have to correlate it. And here what you will find, you can correlate two variables at one stage, at the secondary stage first, then at the senior secondary stage. Then you can also correlate the scores at the secondary stage with the senior secondary stage. So friends, you see multiple types of analysis you can done by taking more than one variable, specially for conducting the cross-sectional study. So here you can better compare the result of the subjects, result of the students in more than one variable cases in comparison to the single variable study. So friends, we have already discussed the longitudinal study and the cross-sectional study. Let us now try to differentiate between the concept of cross-sectional and longitudinal study. First of all, in cross-sectional study, the study is conducted at one point of time. So here you are not giving any gap of time. You are not studying the situation of a particular variable, the development of a particular variable in a gap of time. Okay, but here in a longitudinal study, what you are doing, you are conducting a study at the different point of time. Okay, so today you are studying, then you are also observing the situation the status after 5 years, after 10 years, so you are continuously observing it, but it is not happening in case of cross sectional study. Then in cross sectional study, data collected from different segments of the population, as I have told you that one population will not be used here. The group of population will more than one, maybe secondary, elementary, senior secondary, college students accordingly. Then in longitudinal study, what you are doing, you are collecting data from same population. So here population is not changing. You are studying the status of the same population over a quite period of time. Then in cross sectional study, it takes less time to conduct a study, as you are not waiting it, you are collecting data within 1 or 2 months. But for conducting longitudinal study, it is a time consuming method, because you are waiting for 5 years or waiting for 10 years to get the data. Then in cross sectional study, the study is complicated in the sense that the sampling technique you are using, a cluster sampling, you are using you can say stratified sampling, and you are using a random sampling. So you are doing a type of complicated sampling for selecting the group, but for conducting the longitudinal study, here easy sampling technique you are using. You are not going to the complexity of selecting a group. The relevance of problem is retains in cross sectional study, but at the same time you can also say in the longitudinal study you are also getting a valid result, because you are observing the things for quite a long period of time. Both types of data are possible both in cross sectional study and longitudinal study. Means you can get qualitative data as well as quantitative data in both type of study, both in cross sectional as well as the longitudinal study. As I have already told you, in such type of study there is the scope to get much qualitative data in comparison to the quantitative data. But at the same time, in cross sectional study, the nature of data may be 50-50. Okay, means there is the possibility of getting quite good quantitative data. But in longitudinal study, as we are involving, you are observing the things, we are interviewing the things. So here there is the possibility of getting more qualitative data in comparison to the quantitative data. Then in cross sectional study, many a time it is difficult to generalize the result. But in a longitudinal study, we can generalize the result, because in a longitudinal study, the study is involved, the researcher is involved in the process, and it takes years together for conducting the study. The researcher is touching each and every aspect of the study. But in a cross sectional study, it is just like a type of survey research that at the same time you are collecting data from different sections. You are just presenting, you are just describing the facts at the present time. Okay, so that's why in cross sectional study, many a time it is very hard, it is very difficult to generalize the result. But in a longitudinal study, you can generalize the result. So friends, today we discuss the concept and process of conducting the cross sectional study, and in our earlier program we have discussed about the longitudinal study, and we have also differentiated between the concept of a cross sectional study and a longitudinal study. I think this concept will help you for understanding your research, and also conducting or also using this cross sectional and a longitudinal method for conducting your study. But I must suggest you to go through different good books of educational research methodology, and after reading the original author books and watching this video, I think you may develop better understanding. Thank you.